What's going on? I just got off the phone with a coworker, and he said something to me that I was like, my goodness, I got to talk about this. So, obviously, with the political climate and everything else going on, we were talking about bugging out. And he came up that he's like, well, I'm just going to, when SHTF happens, I'm just going to leave. I'm like, that's cool. Where are you going? He goes, well, I'll call you. I said, I don't know about that. If you can find me, do you even know where I'm going? Do you have a contingency plan? Like, what's your deal, bro? And, I live in Jersey, right? So, this is what I started to explain to him. I said, dude, there's 10 million people that we know about in New Jersey. Never mind all the people that are uncounted and undocumented. Seriously. So you got to add what? Maybe let's be conservative and say add 1 million people onto that. So let's say there's 11 million people in New Jersey, right? Yeah, everybody leaving at the same time. If it came to that, you're not going to go anywhere. There was a time when there was a bad wreck on the turnpike and they shut that sucker down, and literally every road was clogged. Every road. You couldn't go. You just had to sit there. It's the way it is, man. There's not enough of road for the amount of knuckleheads in this state. That's as simple as it gets. And yes, I say knuckleheads because I would say 3/4 of these people living here are, in fact, genuine, capital K, knuckleheads. So if you're trying to stay ahead of the curve, couple that, when I say the curve, no pun intended, but couple that with the people that are fleeing the metropolitan New York area right now, right? Because their eyes have been opened a little bit. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to drive through where we're working. You should see all the apartments and all the cluster homes that are being built. There's a big anticipation for these people, these city people, to leave New York and come to this state and commute or work from home or whatever they got to do here. I had to put my daughter in school, and it was the last seat available for actual physical school, and there was people from Brooklyn there trying to put their kids in. That's how far. So our radius that you think, oh, I'm 30 miles from New York, or I'm 100 miles from New York, that's not going to affect me. Bro, if you live around New York, tri-state area, you're going to get affected. So my point is, because of that, because of the mass insurgence of people running to the sticks of New Jersey, what are you going to do? What are we going to do, right? So you can't just simply say, I'm going to bug out and I'm going to leave. That hurt my head, because if you're thinking of just saying that now, if something does happen, like, think about it. If the worst case scenario, and I hope it doesn't happen, but this is how you got to think. You got to plan for the worst and hope for the best, right? And if you don't, shame on you. You know what I mean? Seriously, what are you going to do if it happens and you say, oh, that's never going to happen? Do you know? I couldn't, listen, look at the behavior of people. I couldn't tell you the amount of behavioral changes just happened in 6 months. 6 months. Look how much stuff has changed. So you can't tell me, nothing would surprise me now, right? So basically we have a good solid month and a half to November to where stuff gets sticky. God forbid. So where are you going to go? Are you going to get a hotel? Are you going to, you're not going to call your friends. If you didn't put any effort into building a relationship with your friends, don't expect them to welcome you in, because guess what, man? I'm not. I'm kind of at the point is I have a solid group of enough of people. You enter in the circle or out. You're not going to walk on my door and expect me to take you in if you got nothing to offer, except for your dumbass self and more people for me to help and feed and take care of and all that happy stuff. So if you don't have the right equipment, right now, and don't try, I'm going to go to a gun store and buy a gun. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? Because it's too late for that. So if that's the case, if you're late to the game, and if you're not set with a location and a plan how to get to said location, and what if the location's gone? Ever think of that one? What if I got there's a lot of variables you have to consider. Let me put it this way. I'll do you a little analogy real quick, and I'll get off of this because I'm almost at where I gotta go. So let's say 9/11 happened, right? I was real close to, I could almost see the buildings from where I was. If you didn't leave at 9/11 and you stayed, okay, but what if it was worse? What if everybody had to leave? What if there was 6, 7 more planes coming? Or what if there was missiles behind them? But you didn't know. No one knew what the hell was going on. The reaction time. Look at the reaction time. So if you didn't leave New York when that first plane hit, and if it got worse, you weren't going anywhere. We all would have been toast. Plain and simple. It's just the sheer numbers and facts that you can't get out of this area if you don't preemptively leave. So you're going to have a lot of false alarms. You're going to have to make, certain decisions in haste in order to come out ahead of all these other people trying to leave, because you're not gonna be able to leave. I hate to break it to you, but you're gonna have false alarms, and you better have the right equipment and the right stuff to go through with those false alarms, because otherwise you're gonna be left in the dust, and you're gonna be sitting on the turnpike or wherever the heck you think you're gonna go, with everybody else being all angry and upset and in the middle of danger. So you have to leave early. And is that going to mean that you're going to have a pissed off wife and kids every once in a while because you freaked out? Yeah, it does. You better talk about that one too, and make sure, if everybody understands, is on the same page, there should be no reason for anybody getting upset. And then I'll leave you with this. How are you going to communicate with everybody? And this is all that I'm telling this kid, and I think I could smell the smoke coming out of his ears a little bit, but I'm not trying to sound pessimistic. I'm not trying to sound like a douchebag. I'm not trying to sound like I know everything. I'm just telling you what I told him. And, there's a lot more than just leaving the scene, because that's just the beginning. That, the real journey begins when you get there. Not the getting there part. It begins when you arrive, and then you have to. That's the next level. So, fine, figure out. You're gonna get out. All right, where are you going? If you can answer that question, hallelujah. Then what? That's my point to him. Then what? Because you have the very high likelihood of putting yourself in a more precarious situation than just staying put. And staying put isn't that cool either, but, you're not gonna, it's like the Pilgrims leaving Britain with nothing, right? Think about that. You gotta have something to stay afloat here. You gotta have enough of rations and all the things and all the stuff to get through at least 6 months of where you're going, and then you gotta get it there. Logistically speaking. So if you checked all those boxes, well, guess what? You better make sure your vehicles are in line and go through these checklists. And it might be wise to make a dry run or something if you know where you're going. But please don't just go. Like, you kidding me? Like, you can't do that. You can't just go and, what is this? The freaking Walking Dead or something? Are you kidding me? Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just go, especially if you have dependents. If you're by yourself, yeah, God bless you. Good luck, brother. But if you have people depending on you, you're not just gonna go. Where you going? You're gonna be going nowhere. You might as well be all these other knuckleheads that you're running from. Seriously. So think about that, please. I'm begging you, because you got a little bit of time, and I hope that everybody knows where to go and where they've been, so they don't end up there again. Okay? I'll see you later.